So we've all seen the articles that basically say that sitting at your desk all day during work will basically take a lot of years off of your life. But there's good news. Basically, if you start tapping your feet or twirling your hair or playing with your pen, you might not have to face that doom. Now, a new study of more than 12,000 UK women suggests that those who claim to fidget the most were apparently protected against the ravages of being seated. Now, researchers at the University of Leeds basically asked women how long they spent sitting, and they also asked them to rate the amount of fidgeting that they did on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, they also gathered details on their diets, their exercise regimens, and how much they smoked and drank alcohol. The women were first approached between 1999 and 2002, and they followed up 12 years later. Now, what's interesting is that they found that the women who sat for 7 or more hours a day were 30% more likely to have died from any cause than those who sat for 5 or less hours, but only if they were low fidgeters. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Those in the middle and high fidgeting groups had no greater risk of dying when they sat for the longer periods. And they're not sure why fidgeting has this effect, but they hypothesize that fidgeting might alter physiological processes even when the activity level is far below that of more conventional exercise. How interesting is that? The fact that just kind of moving some part of your body while you're sitting kind of negates all the negative effects of sitting all day.
Turns out I've been working out all day. Fantastic news.
By this. I get what they're saying, but I like the terminology more likely to have died from all causes by 30%. I like the fact that they're 30% more likely to have died from jaguar attack because they sit too much. I love that.
It's true.
I get what they're actually saying there.
Can't get out of the way of the jaguar.
Exactly.
But now I feel bad because I always get on your case for going like this on the think tank desk. I'm killing you.
Slowly,
I'm trying to.
Look, 12,000 people over that long of a period, that's generally a good way to approach these sorts of things. I can't conceive of how that could possibly counteract the fact that you're sitting so long. I mean, we're talking about such a small difference, it seems like, in terms of how much you're moving. I guess it's possible. It might be that the damage is less in the body and more in the brain when you're completely inactive for such long periods of time. But it just seems so unlikely that that amount of movement could matter. Also, by the way, there's no other way that they could do this with this many people and over that long of a period of time. But asking people how much they fidget is not necessarily an incredibly accurate way to gauge how much they actually fidget.
Self-report, right.
Exactly. Like, what does it mean to be a 1 versus a 2?
Also, what's the difference between tapping your foot and, say, tapping your fingers on the keyboard? Does that count as fidgeting? Probably, I don't know.
Well, then why is it typing fine, then?
Exactly.
Yeah, if you type, then apparently you're fine. If you play video games all day long, I'm going to live to 100. I kind of doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's saying you're not likely to lie about how much you fidget.
No, you could just be wrong.
You could be wrong, but 12,000 people aren't probably all wrong.
But they could be wrong in a particular way. It could be biased in a particular way. I'm just saying, obviously I don't have the data to back up these suspicions.
My hunch is the people who are particularly sedentary are honest about the fact that they're particularly sedentary. And that's probably not healthy. There's something, it's more, to me, it's more likely to be that the people who fidget a lot are antsy in some way, and that therefore they are less likely to be completely sedentary in the other parts of their life. They're more likely to be like, they're more likely to take a walk, they're more likely to be walking around their own house, all kinds of things.
If they feel, sorry.
Oh, no, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, basically, if they feel restless, they may, get up and then walk around the building or something like that.
Even at times when they're not sitting at their desk,
Yeah, that is entirely true. And it could be that this is sort of implying that the fidgeting is causing the change in their lifespan, but it might be that one thing is causing both the fidgeting and the change in their lifespan. It could be that there is something genetic to you that makes you fidget and causes you to not be as negatively affected by periods of inactivity.
That said, if you sit a lot and you don't fidget, if you haven't died during this video, get up.
Get up and walk around.
I just find it interesting with human evolution because I feel like we worked so hard to get to a point where we didn't have to hunt and gather, where we could sit forever, and now we're sitting too much, and now we're dying because of that. So it's interesting to kind of look at these sorts of things.
Another thing, though, to remember in all this is that we live forever.